Okay, it's official. Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic, we're talking about, is out of the U.S. Open. The tennis star withdrawing from the tournament due to his vaccination status and CDC travel restrictions.
Yeah, Djokovic writing on Twitter, sadly, I will not be able to travel to New York this time for the U.S. Open. Thank you for your messages of love and support. Good luck to my fellow players. I'll keep in good shape and positive spirit and wait for an opportunity to compete again. See you soon, tennis world.
Yeah, just to make it clear, you can't come into this country if you haven't been vaccinated. You can't get a visa.
Right. If you're not an American.
Right.
Exactly. And it's disappointing. So he withdrew, but he withdrew from the tournament because he wasn't allowed to come here.
Exactly. And didn't he bypass Australia? Or did he get around that? No,
he did not. He didn't play in Australia. He went over there. He was quarantined, and then he had to turn around and leave.
That's a major, and then he did win Wimbledon. Anyway, joining us now to discuss, sports analyst Eric Mitchell. Eric, this is a shame for a lot of people. What are your thoughts on this one?
You want my honest thoughts, Bob?
Yes.
Because I think it's ridiculous that we can't see this Wimbledon champ that was allowed to play at Wimbledon, obviously, and he can't come here. I mean, we should bring him here to Texas because he's more than welcome here. We're not like New York, but I guess it's all the CDC guidelines, I guess, that we're going to enforce today.
Yeah.
And I got
to throw this in, Eric. I got to throw this in, Eric. My wife is from Texas, and all of you Texans who think it's a different country from New York, it's actually in the same country. Just throwing it out there.
That's true, but it's a little different here. We treat COVID and all these other things a little different than the rest of the country.
I know.
And Florida, we love those folks too. But I mean, if you think about it from this way, Bob, he was allowed to play Wimbledon. He had that incident in Australia, which honestly, as someone who follows sports, works in sports, looked more like a PR stunt by Australia. And again, here in our country, I can't keep up. This is the CDC, but didn't the CDC just say last week there was a whole different, like they were wrong and all these other things? So I don't understand. We can't have a player come in on a visa. He's not going to be touring the entire country. He's on a very busy schedule playing in a major, tennis tournament here. Yeah. And it's not like he's gallivanting around and bringing an entourage.
Right.
It's just plain ridiculous. We can't move on in sports. We can everywhere else in sports, but just not, I guess, in our own country in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Eric, also want to get your take on this. The Professional Golf Association, of course, the PGA, making sweeping changes to its tour schedule and prize money. Now, this as it tries to compete with the upstart Live Golf Series. Top players will now compete in at least 20 events, each having an average purse of $20 million.
This is exciting. I love it, and it coincides. That was released just the other day, and then you had the great announcement yesterday between Tiger Woods, Roy McIlroy announcing their new company that they're releasing that'll have Monday Night Golf, basically.
How about that?
So I guess we'll fill in the gaps when we're done watching Monday Night Football. We'll have Monday Night Golf with Tiger Woods in partnership with the PGA. It's really going to put a lot of pressure on LIV, who have the big names. Tiger Woods is the number one draw. Whether the guy just shows up to have a meeting with the PGA or he limps around the golf course and can't make the cut. Everyone loves Tiger, and Roy McIlroy is a great name too. And having this PGA partnership and what the PGA just built here in Texas again, they built their headquarters, rebuilt it for the players, a whole new experience. The PGA is really competing with LIV on top of what Tiger's doing. This is going to be very hard for the folks over at LIV to compete with the names that Tiger can bring in.
Yeah, that tour rubbed a lot of people wrong, obviously, because the Saudis are behind it, right? But one of the things that Phil Mickelson and some others, who a lot of them should be on the senior tour anyway, said, you need to pay more, PGA. So now PGA is saying, maybe you're right. We do need to pay more. But they're making clear, if you go to the Live tournament, you can't come back to the PGA.
Yeah, big news. All right.
You're right about that, Bob. I mean, absolutely. If you're going to compete with the LIV, it is a little weird that they decided to kind of follow along with what they did. But at the same time, having Tiger's thing come out, you don't know. Did they feed Tiger and know this was going to happen? Or did Tiger and Rory just go, hey, we're the points here? But you got to keep in mind, this league's going to have 14 Monday night games. It's going to be able to handpick their players and bring in celebs. And we're talking about Tom Brady. We've already seen those go, and those gets lots of eyeballs. And you should see the record number of TV networks competing for these 14 games because it's huge. It's Tiger Woods again. And they say that certain people move the needle. Tiger Woods is the needle when it comes to it.
Absolutely. All right. Eric Mitchell, thank you so much.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. Here's something you won't want to miss. He was